And we're back. You're listening to the Talking Boxing with Billy C show. Glad you could join us. And think about your brain, will you? Come on, man. Don't dish your brain. Check out boxingbrainhealth.com. The only patented brain supplement. It works. Because if my name isn't Yukon Cornelius, that's right. But the bottom line is that I definitely feel better, all kidding aside. Check it out. You can get to boxingbrainhealth.com by going to the website, www.boxingbrainhealth.com, or visit our website, www.billycboxing.com, and click on the green banner, which is on the left-hand side. Also, don't forget about my book. Get yourself a copy of Tom Molyneux, From Bondage to Baddest Man on the Planet, right now by visiting www.amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. And don't forget, right after and right before the Triple G David Lemieux fight, we're going to be doing a post-fight and a pre-fight. And we're doing it live at Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria in beautiful St. Simons Island, Georgia. We want you to be there. Click on the it's the post-fight poster, I should say. That's a tongue twister. Up on BillyCBoxing.com. It's got all the information. You can't miss it. It's on the left. We want you to join us down in St. Simons. And speaking of St. Simons, joining me right now is the man himself, Sal, Rocky Cenicola. What's up, Sal?
Hey, Billy. How are you today, buddy?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Getting excited coming down there again. And you know, I before we get started, I almost called you guys at the restaurant on Saturday. You know, I was watching my boys. I'm an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, kind of having their way with the Bulldogs. But then I figured, you know what? I don't want anybody spitting in my pizza when I come down next week, you know?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it was a sad day in the pizza parlor. I'll tell you, I had my staff. They were very upset. They take their college football very, very serious down here, and I respect it and I understand it. You know, up north, I never really followed too much college ball. We were always just attracted immediately to the pros because we all grew up wanting to be the pros. And you know, if anything, I loved Rutgers because Jersey, and I also loved the Army because it was right behind my house off the Palisades Parkway, and we went to a few games as kids. But and you know, I'm a big Giants fan, and my boys in blue, they won this past weekend, so I'm very glad to hear that. I know you're a Jet fan, aren't you?
That's right.
Oh, a Met fan. Are you a Met fan as well? You're a Met Jet, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And you know, I'm wearing my Jets sweatshirt right now, and we were over there in England.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
I got the sound off like me. It's looking good.
We won over in London, and you know, the Mets are in the playoffs with the Yankees.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to maybe make a friendly wager when I come down there. But yeah, I knew that they were going to be bumming over the Bulldog game. But I'm a Crimson Tide fan because of Joe Namath, and I watched it and I loved it. But anyway, let's talk some boxing. A couple of good fights this weekend, Sal. Let's start off with the one that the HBO card, which. You know, I enjoyed because I think that their production is much better. But what was your thoughts on Viktor Postol beating Lucas Matisse? Matisse pretty much was the number one guy in the division as far as our rankings are concerned. He was the number one guy, was the favorite in this fight. And the rest is history. Postol stops him. What's your thoughts on both of their performances?
You know, I saw the...
You're breaking up a little, Sal. Are you there?
Okay. I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you. What'd you...
All right. I'm in the undisclosed location, my Area 51 again.
Oh, well, sit down then. Sit on the floor.
I'm going.
But go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What was your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I thought that Matisse, you know, he did what we expected. He was trying to bring the fight to him. I was very surprised and impressed with Viktor Postol. You know what? He looked like he had all the fundamentals. He kept it together. He kept his hands up. He had a very good jab, good authority behind that jab, and I liked it very well. It was crisp. It was nice. He had his hands up. He punched, and he would bring the hands back right to their defensive position after he executed the punch. He'd bring him right back. And, Matisse would still come forward, and he had his chances. He had some moments. He landed some shots. But I'll tell you, the last punch, Matisse had his hands down a little bit. He had a lazy jab or lazy arm out there, and boom, that right hand just came over the top, and that was the beginning of the end for Matisse.
I thought, just following your thoughts on Matisse, I didn't think he was as aggressive as he should have been, Sal. And to me it looked like, and I was saying this earlier, I thought that Viktor Postol kind of reminded me of Tommy Hearns, not the style, but the way his body was. He's tall and he kind of fought a little like Tommy Hearns. But I mean, it seems like, and I hate to always do this, but you're the guy to do it with. It seems that when I look back at some of these fighters from yesteryear, and then you compare them today, it's almost like the younger generation of fighters don't know how to get up underneath that jab. Matisse should have been more aggressive. Maybe he is supposed to eat a jab or two and get in close. I thought that he stayed too far away. I thought that as the fight went on, even though he seemed to land the harder punches, I thought that Postol was in a groove.
He was in his zone, Postol. And when I was saying that Matisse was coming forward, it didn't mean he was being aggressive. It sounds almost like an oxymoron or contradictory, but it wasn't. He was moving the fight forward. But I'll tell you what, Postol, he just executed some really good, superior boxing moves. He had a good lateral movement. He had his hands up. He looked like when he took a punch, he kept his composure. He wasn't rattled too much, and he just picked his shots. Like I said, everything came off that jab. He had a good authoritative jab. It popped him a few times. And Matisse, I saw his hands. He got a little sloppier right before the beginning of the end. And he was moving forward, but not effectively. He wasn't slipping the punches the way he should. Like you said, the old fighters working their way in, doing those short, crisp punches to the body, working it up, slipping a punch here, countering there. I didn't see that execution of any way, shape, or form. And in the end, I tell you, he paid for it. And I'll tell you the truth, Billy, I was a little surprised he didn't try and get up. I must have gotten hit with that right hand a little harder than I even witnessed myself.
I agree with you, Sal. And he was nervous about going blind in his eye and that he couldn't see and all of this stuff. And I watched that shot at least 8 times, and I'm saying, man, it's just now. Granted, I wasn't on the end of it, and I certainly wasn't in the ring, but it didn't seem that devastating. And that brings me to my next question, a great segue, because his team started talking about him running out of gas. Do you think fatigue was more of an issue? With him deciding to stay on his knee, which I despise that in fighters when they do that. Blew my mind. You're talking about a championship fight. You're talking about championship rounds. You're talking about what do you have to do? You're there. This is your life. This is the captured capsule right there. You fight to win. You fight because you're a fighter. You get up. You bring yourself up. It's like fight that last round. Pick yourself up. Get it over with and go on there and bite the bullet and take it on. Now, unless he was hurt more than we had any idea, that right hand might have rattled him. Maybe it summoned some demons and he was hurt. But I'll tell you what, I thought he could have picked himself up and maybe move around and get his clarity a little bit in his head for about 30 seconds. But we'll never know because he never did it. Right. And he's regarded as a tough guy, a knockout puncher, a guy that has been robbed a couple of times. Some people argue that really he's won all his fights and the losses should have went the other way. And then you see this and it makes you wonder, do you think that he just took Postol lightly, or do you think, hey, Postol was the better man that night and he's an overall better fighter? I mean, what's your assessment of Postol at this point?
Well, and this is the thing. I slipped up the original question.
You're fading. I'm losing you.
Okay, how's that? Better?
Yeah, now when you're talking into the phone.
Thank you. Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's good. I can hear you now. Right, what were you saying about Postol?
Okay. I'll tell you, when Matisse looked like he was starting to he tagged a little more often than he even thought. And he looked like he was a little tired and towards the end there. And, you know, a famous great coach, Vince Lombardi, who said fatigue makes cowards of us all. So, you know, maybe the fatigue was setting in. He got dropped, and he knew it was beginning and the end, and he knew he was only going to stand up for more punishment. I don't know. Again, I only know what South Cenicola would feel, what South Cenicola would do. But I don't know what was going through his mind. But I did see he was starting to get a little bit lazy with his arms, and the hands were dropping after he executed a punch, and that's when Postol came over the top. So maybe the fatigue was setting in, and he knew it was beginning of the end. He said, I'm going to stay down.
You know, it's crazy. I agree with you, but it's crazy because, you know,
it's crazy. It's crazy. You're a fighter.
Well, the thing is that he kind of had a grudge. He kind of wanted to prove to everyone that he belonged in 140-pound weight class, and it seems like every time he's moved into that division, something's happened. He's been robbed or something, and here he had everything going for him. And if fatigue was an issue, you know, if that was the main issue or the beginning of the end, you know, that falls back to the discipline. I mean, the last conversation that we had, you were talking about, you know, discipline and how you like to stay in shape and all of this stuff. And it just seems that, you know, and I don't want to accuse him of it because, you know, I like him, but I don't know. I mean, it just.
I like him too. I know.
Yeah, it just. Listen, I don't want to take away from Viktor Postol's win because I thought he did everything perfect. You know, he boxed him. He used, you know, it was a clear case of him using his superior advantages, his height, his arm reach, his boxing ability. He used it all to win the fight. And as simple as that sounds, Sal, a lot of fighters don't do that. You know, they don't utilize what they have.
Well, you know, you enhance and you gravitate to what your body can do and what you're best suited for, and you negate what you're going to be lacking, and you try to maximize on what you're given. And, you know, Postol, he did just that. He had great lateral movement. His feet were underneath him. He was a moving target. His hands were held high. He threw a punch. It came right back into position to block the other punches. So I thought he fought a fundamentally sound, solid fight. And I was more disappointed with Batiste, but I was impressed on Viktor Postol's execution of the boxing ability and just his movement. He looked like he came to fight. He looked like he came to win. And I didn't see, again, I'll look at the sense of urgency from Batiste. I didn't see it. And obviously that's what happened in the end.
Yeah,
we never saw it.
I would think that the urgency would have woken up, you know, 5-6 rounds into the fight, and then instead it just, you know, it just went away. Did you get a chance to watch the co-main event on that card?
Yes, I did.
The Pedraza, Edna, I'm sorry, that's the other one, but the Antonio Orozco against the Humberto Soto fight. I thought that was a good fight. That was an action-packed fight, youth versus age. I give Soto a lot of credit for hanging in there, but at the end of the day, a bigger, stronger, younger Orozco came out on top. What were your quick thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, same thing. Just as you just said, it was about the same thing. You know, the quicker, the stronger, and just got it done, got the job done. What he had to do. Yeah,
he. I thought that you know, he looked like he was going to be gassed out, but you know, all of a sudden he started boxing. You know, I think that Humberto Soto was trying to get him into a dog fight, and at least the kid was smart enough to not to bite. But over on the other network, Adrien Broner returned to the ring, and he stepped in and fought Khabib Akhmadurov in a fight that. There was some belt on the line. You know, before I get your thoughts, you know, I was impressed with Broner. I thought Broner looked good at this weight. I like him at 140. He looked bigger. My only knock on him is I can't stand that shoulder roll defense. I think it prevents him from being active. The guy has unbelievable hand speed. He's very accurate with his punching. I think he's cheating us as fans and himself to be more exciting by incorporating the shoulder roll. I think it prevents him from exchanging And in this particular fight, I didn't think he needed to be that cautious. What were your thoughts on the fight?
Well, I see where you're coming from with that, and I saw how he was executing his punches and his combinations. He did it in flurries. He did it here and there, and he was very effective. And he looked like he was.
He looked like what? Did I lose you, Sal?
Well,
are you there? Well, it looks like we lost Sal. Are you there, Sal? I can't hear. Well, are you there, Sal? I'm hearing you. Yeah. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. What? Yeah, you got to get to a spot where we can talk here, bro. But what were you saying?
I was moving, Bill. I was rolling my shoulder. I was doing my impressions here.
See, that shoulder roll ruins us all every time.
It didn't work for me either.
It didn't work for you either. But what was your? Oh, you dropped the phone. What were you saying about Broner?
Yeah, Broner, he looked like he fought a good fight, a sound fight. He looked like he, didn't have to worry too much. I thought he could have did a little bit more, a little effective, and not worry too much about getting hurt. But he, did roll that shoulder, and I think that does take away a little bit from his seeing the whole picture and doing some other things and setting up what he has to do. But he fought a solid fight.
Yeah, I thought he fought a solid fight for sure. I just think that the thing that I think is lacking is that excitement. I mean, the fight that we're going to be doing at your place coming up in a couple of weeks, we know that's going to be an exciting fight. Two guys that go at it and go for a knockout. You watch certain fights, you know that they're going to be exciting. Styles make fights. And Broner has the skill. I mean, this is an extremely talented young guy. And why it's almost like Mayweather. Mayweather had the skill too, but he chose to be safety first. And if that's what we're going to get from Broner, I think a lot of fans are going to walk away. I think they want to see him showcase his talent.
Well, and he has the ability because he keeps his feet underneath him. He looks like he's throwing from a good position, and he can execute those punches and combinations. He's got to move his head, slip those punches on the inside. And I thought he could have taken the fight to the guy a little bit more. And I only speak from Cenicola perspective, but he fought a good, solid fight. And let's see what he can do, and he can learn from this one. How old is Broner now? Was he 20 something?
Yeah, he's around that. He's in his late 20s. He said he was tired. He said he was really tired at the end of the fight, which makes me wonder about conditioning and stuff. Listen, he's got the skills. I would really like him to just shed that shoulder roll D. Maybe use it if he's in there with a really heavy-duty banger. But for the most part, I mean, the Akladurov fight, I mean, he should have just went in and took care of business. How it went to 12 rounds and finally being stopped, I don't know. I really don't.
No, I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah, it was definitely something that I thought he could have put it on a little bit, taken it to him a little bit further.
Now, did you catch the undercard in that one, the Edna Cherry against Jose Pedraza?
No, I did not. But if you want to fill me in and talk about it, we can comment. But
no, it would be. I liked the fight. I thought that the wrong guy got the nod, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a good one. It's worth it for you to go back and watch that one if you get a chance. But
I will do that. I'm so excited about this Triple G in Lemieux. I'm almost thinking back. The last time I got excited about this kind of fight was when we saw Tommy Hearns versus Marvin Hagler. They both wanted it. Those are warriors, and I don't want to just go back to turn the clock back. But boy, that's the Mecca. That's the time. Those two fighters, they went out the middle of the ring. They wanted to show the world, because that's what we were talking about last week, Billy. The world. Each one thought they were the best. Each one thought they were the baddest, and they brought the fight to the center of the ring, and they were willing to put it all out there online, like you and I say. A fighter's got to be willing to get hurt or be willing to lose in order to win. They can't be afraid of losing. In other words, you can't be afraid of losing because you want to win. You got to be You got to be able to put it on the line to know you're the best and to hang it out there. And I think we're going to see that kind of fight. What is that, October 17th?
Yeah, it's a relative fight. Like both of these guys are, in the tops of the division. I really wish it had the significance that Hagler Hearns had. I agree with you. The style is going to be the same. They're both going to come out going for a knockout quick. There's going to be no pussyfooting around. They're going to come right out and fight. I can't wait for that fight. I've been talking to you about this fight for months now, and I'm really excited about it. But the one sad thing about this, the way the fight game is today. The Hagler Hearns, they were on a collision course. Triple G and Lemieux, they ended up being on a collision course. But because of the nature of how business is done today, like, for example, this past weekend, Adrien Broner fighting in the junior welterweight division, Viktor Postol fighting in the junior welterweight division, both of them win significant fights and look good. But the possibility of them fighting each other, which should be a normal thing, that's not going to happen. And the reason, because one is with one network and one group of promoters, and the other one's with the other network and another group of promoters. So they, we have division in a sport that we need unity. And, fighters like Hagler and Hearns, were around when boxing, even though we had its enemies, there was promoters that didn't like each other. They always buried that hatchet when it came time to give the fans the fight that they wanted, like Hagler Hearns. The closest thing we're getting is a Triple G and David Lemieux fight.
Well, we got a 5-year too late. We got Pacquiao and Mayweather. That was, and you're right. I mean, these are guys in the same weight class. They just won what was considered a big fight. And, of course, the natural gravity or gravitation should be, hey, let's get these two guys together and let's have a nice fight. Let's promote it. Let's back it. Let's get the word out. Let's ring the bells about it. And let's get this fight on the road.
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna happen.
I think I'm going to start fasting, I guess, next week for when I come down there, because I might eat 2 whole pies this time myself, but I keep telling people they're going to have the whole menu available to them if they come down for the Triple G Lemieux fight. There's no cover, so they just can come in and experiment with the menu there. Sal, real quick, I know we got to go, but real quick, what's some of the other specialties aside from pizza that people could count on getting if they came and joined us for our event?
Well, I'm very proud and humble in the same breath. We have some real core recipes from my family that came over from Italy. My mother was from Ischia, the island off the coast of Naples by Capri. My father and his family, they all came southeast of Naples by Benevento. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, southeast of Naples, outside of Benevento, a little village called Guardia San Fernando. And, we have my parents' recipes that we still use today. We got the bolognese sauce with the meats. We use the ground pork, ground veal, ground beef. We've got the lasagna, the homemade lasagna with generous portions. We've got our eggplant parmesan. It's done so well with so much care. And everything is made with love. That's the secret ingredient. We cook it with love, from the old country.
I saw all that love. I saw all that love in the jars. You got jarred love in the back there.
We absolutely. And Billy, our meatballs, they're better than, I'll tell you what, I've never tasted a better meatball. It's the same thing. I do the recipe, I enhanced it a little bit from what my parents gave me, and I'll tell you the secret when I see you.
I might have to
they're great. And you know what I can't get away from? We do a linguine and white clam sauce or linguine and red clam sauce. I love linguine and white clam sauce. And we give you about 10 or 12, a dozen clams, little neck clams inside of that, and it is so scrumptious. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have that tonight. I could eat that morning, noon, and night, late at night for dinner for a snack.
Hey,
linguine white clam sauce, love it.
I like the sausage and peppers. I got to get some of the hot sausages, and don't forget a cannoli, man. Your cannolis are pretty damn good.
The cannoli, you're right. And you know what? I'm going to bring that hot sausage back in when you get over here, so I'll get that ready for you. And we'll make that, and that's good, because we like to go with a nice 8-inch link sausage with a little fennel. It's a little sweeter than the one we use for the sandwiches and stuff, but we do bring the hot one in, and you're going to love that.
I'm getting hungry. I might come down for a week early. I don't know, man.
Come on early, man. We'll get you. We'll put you up. I got 3 bedrooms. I'm by myself.
I'll hang around. Well, you'll have to wheel me. You'll have to wheel me around. But anyway, Sal, we'll be looking forward to another good event down at your place, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of people to make the trip down for anything, for the food, you know. But and it should be nice weather, right? It should be nice, right?
It's going to be a fun night, and I just got delivered today. I got to unpack them. I've got some T-shirts. It's the neighborhood pizzeria T-shirts, but they got the 3 logos in the front. They got the center. They got the big back with Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria in the back of the shirt with the phone number. Then they got the center logo, which is the smaller Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria. And then on each breast surrounding that, you have the Boxing Hall of Fame induction, and you also have the Guinness Book of World Records induction. So it's a pretty good super shirt. We hope we do that right. I think 1 or 2 of your listeners are going to get Joel a shirt. I know that. So we're gonna take good care of that.
Sounds good, my man, and I'll be looking forward to doing that next week, right? Or is it next week or the week after? No, it's next week.
It's the week.
It's next week.
It's the 17th, right? Yeah. It's 2 weeks.
No, it's next week. It's next week. Today is the 6th, right, or 5th?
Right, and we got 8 days. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's next.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's next week. But anyway, I know. Well, you better get stuff ready. But anyway,
I gotta get ready.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have it business and dinner as usual. We'll have some of your fans. I know we get some of Billy C's listeners that come up from Florida, come up from down from the Carolinas, and anyone you're within grasp. Like I said, we could rent that big Partridge Family bus if you like.
Be careful, everybody's waiting for the bus to pick them up, you know. So anyway, we'll be looking forward to it, my man, and I'll talk to you. Actually, I'll be on the road tomorrow. I'll give you a call from the road.
You give me a call from the road, Billy. Everything's good, and my best to you, your family, and God bless your grandson, or your first grandson. God bless him, and everything's great. You tell all your fans and everything. I want to say thank you to them, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon, my friend.
We got a good one, Triple G, David Lemieux. Can't wait, my man.
Love it. I can't wait. I'm excited about this one. So let's all keep punching. And
this is your style. This is your style of fight, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this fight.
It is.
Yeah,
this is it. I'll be rolling more on my shoulders that night.
No, you'll be showing how you don't do a shoulder roll, right? But anyway, all right, brother. We'll talk to you later, my man.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You take care.
All right, Sal. Take care. That's my man, Sal, Rocky, Cenicola. And he told you guys, you heard all the food, right? And he's got some T-shirts and stuff. So make sure you make it down there. You won't regret it, man. There's no cover. He's going to have his whole menu available so you can try whatever you want. Like I said, I'm going to be getting into town Friday, so you can plan on stopping by Sal's on Friday and Saturday for the Triple G David Lemieux fight. The fight will be shown. There's not a bad seat in the house, so make sure you find out all the information by visiting our website right now, www.billycboxing.com, and click on the Triple G Lemieux post-fight poster, which is right on the left near the top. You can't miss it. Hey, listen, I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, the phone lines are going to be open. I'm going to take 1, maybe 2 callers, and then I'm going to go dream about eating some of Sal's pizza. I'll be back in 2.